Hey everyone, thanks for coming back, checking out yet another video on the Yamamoto Senko. Today we're going to cover how you can remelt plastics that are already solid to remold them. A lot of the plastics I'm going to be using are leftover sprue pieces and other plastics that I've tried that I'm just going to remold into Senkos. You end up with leftover bits like this. Chunks like this, and we're just going to combine them and remold them. You can use the same process when you're molding Senkos. It doesn't matter if it's fresh plastic or retail plastisol Senkos. Some of the things I want to cover before I go over this is safety. If you've never poured with plastisol before, never remelted, or have very little experience doing it, I do recommend, one, make sure you're in a ventilated place, whether it be an open window, a garage, you got fans blowing, however you do it, make sure you're venting. Just like anything else, you breathe that stuff in too much, you won't feel so hot. Two, even though I suggest and recommend wear gloves. Until you're comfortable doing it and you have some experience doing it, wear a pair of gloves. The reason I choose not to wear gloves is because with them I can't hold on to things right. My hands get clumsy, so to speak. I've also been a cook for 9 years. I can withstand a lot of heat with my hands, being I work around grills every single day, I work around deep fryers every single day. I'm used to handling hot materials. Another thing I want to mention is not all soft plastics are made of straight plastisol. Some companies out there put additives in there to make their plastic stronger or to make it to fit their needs for their baits. So make sure if you are using retail baits to do this process in, that you're using something that's made of straight plastisol. Otherwise it may not work right. It may cause, actually, an experience of mine was when I first started doing this, I tried using some baits I got from a gas station north of where I'm at now, and it actually almost started on fire. So just make sure that what you're remelting is straight plastisol. You also want to make sure the microwave you're using is a microwave you're never going to use for food again. Once you melt plastisol or liquefy plastisol in a microwave, that microwave is pretty much dedicated to it. The fumes and the particles from the plastisol will get inside the microwave and contaminate any food that's cooked in it after you've melted plastisol in it. So make sure that you go to the Goodwill, go to the junkyard, go wherever, get one from your neighbor, a microwave that is not going to be used for food ever again. And also the big difference between my Senkos and the one you buy in the store, I don't add salt to my baits unless it's springtime. The only reason someone would want to add salt to their bait is to change the weight of the bait. It's not going to add any to the attractant or anything like that. It's mainly just to add weight. And to show you, I hope this can show up on the camera, I am using a true Yamamoto Senko mold. So the size specs are of a Yamamoto Senko, but I don't add salt after the spawn, just simply because I like the way they fish better. That's my preference. I'm not saying that's the way you should do it. It's all personal preference. If you do want to add salt, you can buy it online, or you can use popcorn salt. It just needs to be really fine so it doesn't affect the color of the bait. If you use regular old table salt, it's going to mess with your microwave, it's going to mess with the melting process, it's going to mess with the molding process. What else before I get started? Colors. When you're first getting started, the 3 colors you want to get are the 3 primary colors in my opinion. Red, yellow, blue. Because with those 3 colors you can essentially create any of the other major colors that you're going to want to use. When you mix colors with plastic, it works just like the color wheel. But those three colors are the primary three colors, and you can make anything out of them. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is get your, if you're using retail Senkos, you're going to want to get those together. No, I'm not using those. I just poured those, but you're going to want to get your Senkos that you're going to add to it together. I am going to be using these that I had from the other day. So you just take them like so and rip them apart. Put them in the container you're going to melt with. And I'm mixing some colors just because I want to use up these leftover bits. I don't want to have to, I'm not going to throw them, I'm going to make them into something. So you just want to make these bigger chunks smaller. It'll help them remelt easier. And if you have any whole, you know, like if you have a whole Senko or a whole frog that you poured, you want to make sure you rip those apart too. You can use the scissors, I just don't have one at the moment. So then it should be something like that. Just a bunch of pieces, you know. Now this isn't essential to do if you don't have any liquid plastisol. You can still melt, just melt slow. You know, stick to the 30-second rule. Don't go a minute. But if you do have some liquid plastisol, then make sure you give it a good shake. And add just a splash. All it does is coat the plastic you're going to be melting. It helps the stirring process, it helps the melting process. Then just kind of stir it up to make sure everything's coated. And again, if you don't have any liquid plastisol, just go slow. 30-second stir, 30-second stir. And that's all you have to really do to get ready. A couple more little pieces here. And then start melting. Alright, and as I said before in the other video, always stir. You want to make sure the heat stays even with remelts. Hot spots can develop, so make sure you're stirring. Alright, so you can see it's starting to kind of turn back into a liquid, but there's still a lot of chunks there, and that's expected. This is when you'll start to see what kind of colors you're going to get, what you might want to add. Start thinking about if you want to add other glitters, if you want to add any more scent. You can tell if you'll need to add more scent pretty much at this point too, because any scent that you may have in there will start to permeate, I guess is the word. And we're getting there, but not quite. So we're getting there. Getting there. 3/4 of the way there. Alright. So you can kind of see how it's running off the butter knife like pancake batter. That's almost to the point you want it, but not quite. It's not quite thin enough to pour yet. So this will be the last time I wipe the sides off. You usually want to get the stuff off the sides maybe 1 or 2 times before the final heat, just to make sure you don't have any chunks. Like I said, if you heat too close to where you're going to inject, you might end up with chunks in there, and you don't want that. So alright, should be ready to pour. I'm just going to give it a quick, nice and easy stir, just to get the glitter, the glitter nice and mixed, because the glitter doesn't stay static once it's in there. Again, you want to be nice and easy. This is where, if you've never done this or are inexperienced at it, you'll want to wear gloves. Alright, top this off quick. Alright, so one trick, if you're going to do multiple pours and you want to make, you've only got one mold, you want to make more than just 4 Senkos. Get off there, get off there, yeah, okay. One trick, a lid, any kind of lid, just set it on top of the plastic, like so. That'll retain a lot of the heat within. What I do is I just set it right inside the microwave with the lid on it until I'm ready to do another pour. Then I take the lid off, microwave it, repeat the process until the plastic's back up to temp. The color's really not showing up that well on the camera, but then you get your mold ready again. Take our plastic with the lid on it. Butter knife. As you can see, it's still liquid. It's not as hot as it needs to be, but it's a lot warmer than it would be without it. I hope you enjoyed this video. That's the way I reheat or remelt plastic that I've already melted once before. The same process again will work if you're just using Senkos from the store. There's other baits out there too that are straight plastisol that you can use if you're looking for a different color. But just make sure, like I said before, that you use the right safety gear until you're comfortable, until you find what works best for you. Some of my methods are not the safest as far as handling stuff without gloves, so on and so forth, but it to me is the safest way, because I don't know, just when I have gloves, it doesn't feel as safe to me. Yeah, I'm protected from hot plastic hitting my skin, but then again, if I drop a whole Pyrex cup full of hot plastic onto my shirt, onto the floor, onto my foot, that's even worse. So I hope you liked it. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, or if there's a video you'd like to see, something you'd like to see me do. As far as soft plastics go, let me know. Click the like button if you like this video. I don't know if you can see the wind out there from the trees across, but we've had 20-mile-an-hour winds pretty much all day. It's supposed to continue through tomorrow, so fishing videos are on hold until I get winds below, 11, 12 miles an hour or under. It's just too hard to go out in the kayak. I shouldn't say it's too hard, but you fight the wind so much. That is the one downfall to a kayak fishing, but I love it. Wouldn't give it up for the world. So enjoy the weekend. Have a good one.